Hey everybody, it's Kristina from Kristina's Krafts, and we're gonna make a little sign today. I am gonna use this that I got from Dollar Tree, and this glue is stuck on here really good, and the stickers, so I'm gonna use my heat gun, and I am gonna heat this up and hopefully just peel it right off. Okay, I had to hit it with the sanding block. The stickers on the front were, they were on there good. So now that I sanded it, I'm gonna take a baby wipe and I am gonna wipe this down because I wanna make sure that everything's gonna stick good. Okay, then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my elephant chalk paint and I am going to paint just the outside of my house. So just this all the way around. Okay, now that this is all painted, I got this pillowcase from Dollar Tree, and I am actually going to use this pillowcase to cover my house on both sides. So I'm just going to lay it out here, and I am just going to pick probably 2 different flowers here, and that's what I am going to cover my house with. But I want it different on both sides. So I think I'm going to do this flower and this flower. So I am just going to cut around this. Hopefully I cut a big enough piece, otherwise I have to cut another piece out. And then look at all this other fabric that I have for covering other stuff. So I don't know if you saw one of my other videos, but in one of my other videos I used a dog bandana and that did not really work out the best for me. So I'm going to try to stick this about center in my house. Maybe up a little bit. Maybe up more towards the top actually. Alright, I think those flowers might be a little too close together. I might have to cut another piece out. Alright, so that is going to go on this side. And then I was going to use this flower on this one. I think that should look pretty good right there. And I am going to Mod Podge my fabric down onto my house. So I'm just going to lay that out. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to Mod Podge this onto the house. Okay, I have this all Mod Podge on here and it's pretty dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut around this like so. And just so I can see what I'm doing here, because I got a lot of extra fabric on here. Okay, now that I have the fabric cut down on here, I'm going to take my Mod Podge again, and I am actually going to go on top of the fabric here, because I want to make sure it's going to stay down nice. Okay, now that my Mod Podge is all dry, I'm going to take the sanding block that I got from Dollar Tree, and I already started working at it a little bit. I am going to go in downward motions to get this fabric off of here. See, that leaves a pretty nice edge too. Just make sure you're not going like this, because otherwise you'll wreck the fabric on the front of it, and you don't want to do that. Okay, now that I have all the edges sanded off, it looks really nice. The one thing that I want to do yet is around here is I want to take my matte Mod Podge. So, because I did get on the sides a little bit and now it's a little bit glossy on those sides. So I just want to make it uniform by putting the Mod Podge on the sides of it. Okay, now that my house is all done and my Mod Podge is all dried, I got these laser cutouts from Dollar Tree and I am actually going to use these on my house. So as you can see, these still have little pieces in them. I don't know, these, which I think are actually a lot nicer, but they switched to these cardboard ones and left all the pieces in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those and then I'm going to take my ink chalk paint and I am going to paint both of these black. Okay, I have them all painted. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is I got this burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree. I don't have very much left, and I cut it to about the size of my plaque here. I'm going to cut it down once I get it attached, but I'm actually going to Mod Podge this down on here. I thought that the words were going to look decent just on there, but it turns out the black's just a little too dark. So I probably should have used a gray is my guess on there, or a white so they stood out. But now that they're painted, I'm just gonna go with it. So I am gonna use this burlap ribbon. I'm gonna put it on both sides on the bottom here. Okay, now that that's almost dry, I'm just gonna take my scissors here and I'm just gonna trim the edges of it. Like so. It's okay if it sticks off a little bit. And then I am going to take my word and I'm going to stick it over the burlap there. I'm actually going to use hot glue for that. I'm just going to stick random little hot glue spots here. And then I am going to put that on my ribbon here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do that with this one on the opposite side. Okay, now I have both sides done. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start wrapping twine around the top. So I'm just going to pick a random spot here. And I am going to attach my twine. And then I am just going to start wrapping it around. It has to look good on both sides, so I really have to kind of watch what I'm doing. Whoops. Off camera again. So I'm just randomly wrapping it around. And I need a couple crosses on the other side. And probably right about there. And then I am going to hot glue this side down. Right, and then I'm just going to snip this off over here, like that. Then on this love side right here, I am going to take a key and I am going to attach it on here, but I'm just going to wrap a little bit of the twine around here. Oh, somehow I got a knot in my twine. Okay, so I'm just going to take some of this and then I am just going to tie it at the top here. A little knot. Kind of not exactly sure. Oh, it's might be too long. Now this key might even still be a little too long here. I'm gonna kind of stick this knot down in here, but I want the key to hang right about here, so let's see. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna snip this knot off, and this is gonna get stuck underneath here, so I think I'm just gonna hot glue these two together. Push that together, hopefully without burning myself. And then I'm gonna try to position this here underneath my twine. I have this down just probably a little too far. All right, it's gonna go right about here, I think. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I am going to pull this down a little bit so this hangs. And then I'm going to stick some hot glue underneath here to hold that in place. And then I'm going to actually take a little bit of hot glue on the key so I can get that where I want it. I'm trying to put just a little bit on so it doesn't gush out all over. I'm going to flip that around and I'm going to hot glue it just like that. All right, so that side is all done. Now on the other side, I am just gonna I have some of these beads from Amazon, and I am just gonna string them through my jute, and I'm basically gonna do the same thing as what I did with the key. Okay, I have my beads on here. Then what I'm gonna do is I am going to tie 2 knots in the end of each side, and I'm gonna kind of make them like hanging. So I'm going to put 2 beads right here, and then the other 2 are going to hang on the other side. And then Hopefully this is about right. Otherwise, then you just cut the end off and redo it if it's too long. So what I was gonna do is I'm gonna loop this through here. So actually it's a little too long yet. So I'm gonna take these knots apart and make this a little shorter. Okay, I have my beads done. And then what I'm gonna do is I am going to slide these, hopefully, behind all my twine here. If I can get it through. And there, through. Okay, and then I'm gonna pull these down. And then my beads are going to hang. There, that should be pretty good. And then I'm gonna stick a little bit of hot glue so that they don't fall down. So I'm gonna stick that right on there, hold it down. I just don't want the beads to cover up my words. Okay, it is all finished. My inspire side with the bees and my love side with the key. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that you subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell so you get notified when I upload. And take care. Thanks. Bye.